Hey guys, this is Morgan, aka Morgizzle, and I'm with the Honorable Spud, aka Spud Cut.
Honorable.
And with the very lovely Remy with the I, not a Y.
Here we are.
So sit back, relax, and welcome to Gather Around.
Yes.
Today we're going to be talking about a couple of things that are quite important.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about the pros and cons of entrepreneurship, the good, bad, and the ugly. But we were just talking about something really good about skincare. But
Skincare.
Right. You know what's so funny? We were just saying that, well, you kind of just saw it, I guess, because we didn't edit it out.
No, it'll be edited out.
Okay. All right. So we were just talking about how Black people don't wear skincare. How Black people don't wear sunscreen.
I don't
And
wear
we actually should.
You're
not
definitely
one time in St. Martin.
What?
Oh, wow. No, you really was asking for it.
That is so dangerous. But no,
Because you don't feel it, but doesn't mean it's not happening.
how do you know that you weren't close to developing skin cancer if you stayed in the sun 2 more hours?
So what is all this about how we, and you know what I mean,
Black people
can go out into the sun and
It's
be fine?
melanin.
We can.
Like, yes, we have melanin in our skin, which can protect us from harmful rays, but we still need SPF. We still need like waterproof sunscreen on when you're going to the beach.
oil
That's why
free.
Yeah, that's why there's so many SPF
So
5,
you put it
50,
on.
45.
So if you put that on, does it stop you from getting a tan?
No, you'll still get
No,
tan.
it's
You
not the
won't
back-
get burned.
Correct.
Like harmful rays
Protecting
won't get in your
from your-
skin.
But you do need sun for the energy. And I was just telling Renato right before we started airing that my esthetician was telling me that, especially if you're acne prone, once you get a pimple, you get hyperpigmentation. And if you don't actually put on sunscreen, you can make that actually work worse for you, for your skin tone. So
Yeah, like
especially
I
Black
put
people.
sunscreen on my face every day after I do my skincare routine. It's a part of my
Yeah.
skincare routine. Sunscreen on my face
Every day.
every day.
And I have to have oil free.
In the winter,
Oil-free.
in the winter you don't.
Yeah,
do it.
just
You
because
do it
the
in
sun
winter?
isn't shining doesn't mean the light you're getting from the atmosphere isn't harmful.
I mean,
It doesn't even have to be direct sun that harms your
You
skin.
may have to get an esthetician in here and break all this stuff down.
Yeah.
Actually, we have one supposed to be coming on within the next couple of weeks.
Okay. Oh.
Get
I'm
your
super
questions
excited
ready.
about that.
And
Right.
Renato, as soon as Renato said he don't wear sunscreen, the
Because I
esthetician
don't.
gonna fall out
You know
on the
what's
floor.
crazy? Nah.
I don't even know if you should
First of all,
say what's on
say
your
it.
mind.
First of all, I'm not nasty, so I don't want nobody. I don't take baths. Okay, I take
You
baths.
don't wash your face?
I don't use like I just use water in a rag. To wash my
Okay,
face.
people do
that's
that.
common.
Yeah.
That's common.
So,
Not for
okay.
me. I have to
Eric
use
does
soap
that too.
and
He
all
only
that.
uses
I
water
have
in a
to.
rag.
I'm not putting no
And his
soap on.
skin
I'm
never
acne
breaks
prone.
out.
Yeah, I feel like it really depends on
You
your
see
skin
this baby
type, but-
face?
Yeah, I'm done.
You see this?
Oh Lord.
Water and rag.
For you,
Yeah.
that's good though.
Yeah.
For you, I have to get like laser surgery.
Do you have like a
I
skincare
just started,
routine? Because
yeah.
I sure do.
I do. I have to
Me too.
because this would not be looking like this.
That's
More-
more chestnut.
You know, yeah. My daughter. What show was he watching?
Whatever show you were
Reasonable
on.
Doubt. Reasonable
Oh my
I
Doubt.
love
God,
that
Eric
show.
sister told me about that.
And he was Morris Chestnut was on the screen. My daughter walks in. She says, "Dad, is that your business partner?"
I'm done.
And I said, "Let me call."
When you got in the chat, you said that picture of Morris
Oh,
Chestnut.
my
You were
God.
like, my daughter just asked if this
And
was
he
my.
gonna say, I get that all the time.
No, it's
Yeah.
real. I do get. I did,
No,
especially at
yeah.
Papado. I got. Excuse my bad. The other place that we know of. I do get. I used to get Morris Chestnut all the time, and I used to get as a kid, as I showed you before,
Yeah.
Little Bill.
Yeah.
Right. I got Little Bill, Morris Chestnut. All those are the top two my whole life. So you know what? I'll take it.
Oh my God.
So
I'll take
never
it.
Charlemagne.
No. He
Who
just
was
bald
it that
and
called
black.
us Charlemagne, DJ Envy, and Angela Yee?
Yeah, that's us.
He did.
I said, this is crazy.
He did.
Dominican. I'm just man.
Ronaldo swear he's
Yee.
of some
I'm done.
descent.
A
He's
mix of
kinda
something.
skinny in person.
Who?
DJ Envy?
Yeah, I saw him at the airport.
I've
I
never
bumped
seen
into
him in
him.
real life.
He's about
I've
my
met him
height,
before.
kind of really skinny. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, we not talk about the topic that
Yeah,
we're supposed to be talking
find
got
some
it.
good stuff today.
So, but I love it. I love the conversation all the time with you guys.
I
But
know. We get distracted all the time. Every
Woo.
time we meet.
Yeah, and Morgan
Listen.
asked me, "Do I got ADHD?"
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because no. But because based on the behaviors from yesterday, don't just say it like I said it randomly. Because I feel that, especially when we're talking, I feel
Yeah.
like there's a good topic, then another good topic, and then we just go
But
on
it's
topic,
quick,
the
like-
topic, the topic. And it was like three
I
different
was trying
topics.
to take notes.
Right.
It was all over the place.
in the span of 30 seconds. And I'm like, wait a minute. Am I
What's
the
going on? Yeah.
Right.
Lame.
Am I picking
Ideas
this up?
just get the flowing. It just, you gotta let it happen.
That is true. Okay. So today we're talking about the pros and cons of entrepreneurship, talking about the good, bad, and the ugly, because we felt that so many people have a perspective that what people see on Instagram or whatever form of business that people have that are displaying in any public platform, they just see the glamorous side of it. You know what I mean? They don't really see the knit and the grit. That they don't see the grind. They don't see the ups and downs. They don't see the financial hardships or anything like that.
That's right.
I'm so glad that we're doing this episode to kind of just air out and just let people know the nitty gritty and what's really going on.
Like a day in the life.
Right.
Of like an entrepreneur.
Right.
I guess not just a day, because every day probably looks really different for you all.
Yeah.
I think that's where we differ as far as like work structure.
Yeah.
From an entrepreneur to somebody who just, I don't do the same thing every day, but my hours are kind of the same every day. My money is the same every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So my day-to-day is not that interesting. You all like, you don't know what your day is going to bring.
Yeah.
Sometimes it go crazy.
Yeah,
sometimes I go home early.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have to. What they used to do at the job. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Listen, I used to hate
Everybody
that.
has heard that at their job.
Oh,
yeah, I'm like, I never have a day where it's like, I can slide out at 3 today. Like,
yeah.
I don't have that. I'm kind of there.
Or move your schedule around so you can go get your hair done.
No, I can't do that, and that's tough. Like, I'll have to be like, okay, well, let me just try to book my hair appointment on a Saturday morning. Like, I don't have the opportunity to do both.
Yeah. You know, what's crazy with like when we're talking about entrepreneurship, I be seeing a lot of stuff on Instagram where I think like, because first of all, Instagram's not a real place. Let me just start there. So
that could be a whole thing.
It's a lot of fake entrepreneurs out there. And you know what? Should I even call them fake? Because I guess if you're a scammer,
that is your entrepreneur. Right. No, that's
you
true.
Know what I mean? So,
but it's still, you could say it's a facade.
All right. Because sometimes they make entrepreneurship look easy because they're trying to sell you something for you to become an entrepreneur.
Right.
And it's not necessarily true. Like, for instance, like I had a car on Turo and I seen this guy had like a course where he was showing you how to make thousands of dollars on Turo. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it's not true. Like, because one of the things that's crazy is like, I had my car, I had a Mustang, 2018 Mustang on Turo. And I had it on there for $60 a day. Mm-hmm. And I said, let me just see if I was to book the car, how much are people really paying? And I did it, and Turo was charging, if I had my car on there for $60, Turo was charging $120 something for them to rent my car. So
were people even booking it at that price?
They were, but it's almost like Turo was the one eating, because they would say you're paying for mind you, the 120, they still got a cut of my 60.
I see.
You see what I'm saying? So it still was like, I'm getting like 40. They getting like 140.
Yeah. You know what else is like that? Airbnb.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to start getting Airbnbs. You see people on social media, they're like, I got Airbnbs, this is and that. But they're having a rip and run, clean them up, make sure they're booked after everything. Like, and you might only break even.
Right.
Because you got to think you pay either rent or mortgage on that spot. Right. Utilities, keeping like simple soap and stuff there. Like, that adds up because you're spending money to clean the sheets, to clean the house.
You know what's so funny? I think it's a really good hustle, and I feel like it's so much on trend. And especially because a lot of Airbnbs, but people are not telling you that certain cities actually have restrictions and permits that you cannot even do that, especially in Metro Atlanta. You know what I mean? That the areas have actually changed. Right? But I would definitely say this. I think it's really like on trend right now is the podcast studios that people are doing.
True.
Or the what do you call it? The content house. Because I feel like the cleanup is very low.
Yeah.
You're renting it out for a couple hundred, whatever it is, for an hour.
Wow, yeah.
And then you're going on to the next. So I'm like, you can just have a space in your house.
And I utilize a lot of those content houses because I do photography from time to time.
Yeah.
So they make a lot of money.
I feel like that's a more lucrative spot because you have more slots you can actually use.
You're going to see people coming out, show you how to start your content house.
But it's like, if you don't think people should buy that, how would they learn? You know what I'm saying? It's
you learn by doing, because
not always,
for the most part.
Well, you have to pay to play in order to be an entrepreneur.
I'm telling you, a lot of these people who are selling these courses do not do or are not successful in the thing that they're saying they're teaching you.
But you're not specifically talking about. You're talking about a part of entrepreneurship. You're not talking about how to start something. When it comes to how to start something, I feel like you have to sometimes pay to play or find out where to get the information from.
That's what I'm saying.
However, I feel like you're also missing up when people are talking about like stocks and stuff online, and people just kind of put out like, oh, if you, they kind of make you feel like they're saying something, but then they're not really saying something, but then you have to respond back to their DM or whatever it is and kind of respond back to their course in order to in order to get the information. But there are several things that you have to do, especially as an entrepreneur, and it's really pay to play.
Right. I mean, I get that, but what I'm saying is like, let's say if Remy selling a course on how to start an Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
And I want to start an Airbnb. So you should want to go pay someone who's already successful or doing or making money in that field, right? Correct. But then most of the time, I'm probably would say about 7 out of 10, maybe 6 out of 10 times that you're gonna reach out to somebody, and the money that they're showing that they're making is coming from the course, not the Airbnb.
I would
not the actual Airbnb, because I know someone, I'm not gonna say no name. I don't want to say their name because I don't want to, they pretty big, so I ain't gonna mess with them. But they have this course on how to start. I'm not even gonna say the course because then it'd be
the Airbnb.
It's not Airbnb, but
a business.
They have how to start a business, and I'm looking like this person don't even have those.
But why is that bad though?
Because how are you gonna teach me about something that you don't even have?
Well, actually,
that's like saying if you're not a kid, if you ain't got kids, you can't give a parent advice.
No,
that's not true.
No.
Just because I don't have it.
No, because you might have nieces. You might be a teacher.
Right.
So they could have other avenues that have made them feel like they equipped to teach you.
You might have other avenues that make you money, but how are you going to tell me how to run a specific, like if you never had a podcast, why would I go to you on how to do a podcast?
Well, time out. If they have access to the information and selling the information that they were taught, just because they're actually not doing it, doesn't mean that what they're teaching isn't going to help them or help someone.
It could be facts
or solve a problem.
Yes.
I don't think so. I think
you have to. You don't think so?
I think you have to. I think you have had to either have or done and have a track record. Like maybe I'm not doing it anymore, but if I come to you, I'm like, well, let me see. Let me look at your podcast. You're like, oh, I don't have one. This is just what I've learned throughout the years.
That's not a crime in doing that.
So what if somebody had worked at Walt Disney before?
Okay.
Right? And then they want to write a book on how to be a good server. No, they've never served, but they've worked in an area where they feel they've gained insightful information to make you a better server.
Somebody
doing that, right? You've been a server before. And then you're gonna probably you know exactly how I feel to say on a Friday night, you may want to bring you some snacks in the back. Or put you some snacks in the back, or hide you some in your little granola bar in your pocket or something like that.
Yeah.
They don't know that because they never worked. They never been hungry carrying them heavy trays. So they don't even know to tell you that.
Well, true. I have this.
Unless somebody who actually done it told them.
I have this.
Go ahead.
Riddle me this. Not riddle me this, but funny thing is, we can talk about real estate, right? Mm-hmm. I know so many realtors who have, including myself, who have taught people how to buy houses without them buying a house for themselves.
All right now.
All right. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that they don't have the knowledge and the information or to teach other people too. There are realtors that actually haven't developed land, but have the knowledge to assist people to develop land, but haven't done it themselves per se, as far as for them. They do it for other people. So I feel like there's a thin line between that. Now, granted, FYI, I do own my own house.
Right, but listen.
Let's clock that.
But I'm just saying this in general, that's another career where you can probably say that too.
But somebody that's a realtor, right?
Realtor.
Right? I'm pretty sure that you got to get certified.
Correct.
You need license.
Correct.
So that means that somebody is teaching you these things.
Correct.
Who definitely know what they're talking about, because you can't just be a realtor.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
So when it comes to business, unless you got an MBA or something like that, or you went to school, because like 50 Cent say, why am I gonna listen to the professor about business? He's teaching it, but he has no business.
You know what? I get that. I completely get that.
That is such a slippery slope. That's a solid.
But they're teaching you the foundation.
Okay, but it's like this. It's like, okay,
you would
y'all. I'm pretty sure everybody read Rich Dad Poor Dad, right?
I didn't finish it.
I did as a kid.
Okay, so when they talk about the rich dad, he didn't go to school and he don't have all these degrees like the poor dad does, and the poor dad, he has all these degrees, school teacher and all this, and he's telling his son like, yeah, you got to do this, you got to do that. And the rich dad, like, you don't got to do that. Like, you just got to do this, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, because he has the experience, the teacher has the knowledge, the books, the education, but I feel like no matter what you do, you have to, when you come out of college, what they say, I got the degree, but they say, well, we looking for somebody with some experience, because everybody knows that no matter what you learn, and until you get out there and actually do, you're not really gonna know.
Okay, so all right, so I just want to say this. I second what you're saying. I can agree with part of what you're saying.
Come on, play devil's advocate.
However, I feel like you have to pay to play, no matter what that's going to look like.
I agree with that.
If you have to take somebody out to eat. If you have to nurture certain relationships, if I was an entrepreneur, well, I am an entrepreneur. So if I were to give someone advice who is an entrepreneur, right, who have aspirations of becoming one, or whatever the idea that kind of brews up in the mind, number one, I would say this: whatever you constantly think about nonstop, whether you're on a treadmill or while you're driving your car or whatever, that is somewhere in that is where your passion lies. You can't stop thinking about it. You know what I mean? So if I would have my idea, I will look up who is the best in that field.
Right.
I will look up maybe 10, 20 people in that field, and I will reach out to them, like 10, 20, whatever. Because only if you reach out to 10 or reach out to 20, half of them going to respond, and you probably only go on a dinner date or whatever it is with one or two of them. So that is a part of the pay to play that I would say. I would nurture that relationship. So if you have to take out $250 a month or whatever to take that person out to eat, that person is going to pour into you. You know what I mean? And then you ask them at the end of the exactly. Well, what can I do for you? How can I serve you? You keep doing that over and over again, and you're going to be gaining the valuable experience that you probably would never get
exposure.
Correct.
Because that's big too.
Correct.
Exposure.
You want to look these people up because you know that they're good at what
you
have
to do. Credentials now. Yeah, you got to do your research.
You looking up the top 10 in that field because they have a track record.
Right. And a reputation.
They're not known. They're not in the top 10 because they just know. Right.
No, that's true. And you said something, Morgan. You said if you think about something, you're driving or whatever, you're passionate about it. As like entrepreneurs, do you ever struggle with passion versus purpose? Like,
yes.
Eric was showing me this guy that I think played for the Hawks. He was 21. He gets paid like dumb money, and he just resigned. And he said, I'm going to go live for the Lord. Like, I don't want to play in the league anymore. I'm dedicating my life full time to Christ and my mission. And a lot of people were arguing in the comments like, dude, you get paid all this money. Like, you can still play ball and this and that. But I feel like maybe he didn't feel like that was his purpose anymore. Even if he was passionate about it, God just told him that's not his purpose. So like, I always wonder with entrepreneurs, your passion might be what you're good at, but what if it's not your purpose?
You're right.
So it's like, how do you balance being an entrepreneur and doing what you're good at, but knowing there's something else out there that you probably should do?
I think you should do it on the side because you got to eat. And sometimes your passion or your purpose ain't gonna put no food on the table. So you can't be no fool, you know. You still want to be able to provide for your family or yourself a place to stay, eat. You know what I mean? Unless you want to take it all the way and be a monk. You know what I mean? You can go be a monk and devour yourself to God like that, because you know monks don't. All their money go to the church, and they really, you know, anything you give to the church, that's how they survive.
Right.
And it's crazy that you say that, because do y'all know the girl who just became the Black Panther?
No.
Oh yeah, she stepped down because she said that's not
the same thing.
She wants to.
She don't act.
I didn't know that, because I'm like, you have some people out there that may want to try entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And it could be their passion is what pays them, but their purpose in entrepreneurship and is not making any money. So it's probably hard for them to say, let me go be an entrepreneur. Let me go follow my purpose, when their money is over here.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know what advice you can give to someone that aspires to say, I want to follow my purpose, and their purpose may take them down the path of entrepreneurship. You're not going to start out making nothing, you know? Like, so I don't know how you encourage somebody to say, go for it.
Go ahead, Morgan.
I was just going to say, I would talk to Christ. Or talk to whatever spiritual advisor that you have, so you can figure out where you're supposed to be. I feel like no one can answer that question for them outside of the individual. You can make all these exercises you want, but sometimes they don't align, you know? And the only person that I feel that can really guide you is, from my belief, is the man upstairs.
Yeah.
So I really don't have a response for that.
What would you say, Renato?
Like I said, just don't be no fool. I mean, it's kind of hard. Like for instance, because even like your purpose or your passion, like let's say your passion is you're an artist and your painting's not selling. Like nobody's saying stop painting, but have something on the back end. And if like the 21-year-old, right? I'm pretty sure that he has a couple million.
Yeah, it was a lot easier to make that decision because he's straight.
A lot easier to make that decision when you're straight. You know what I mean? So, and he just probably don't give a about playing basketball no more. And that's how I was in college. Like,
you lost his passion.
When I realized, okay, I want to go to the NFL, but do I really want to go to the NFL? I just want the money. So then I started telling myself, there's other avenues to get the money without going and getting my head knocked around.
Yeah, that's true. And I think there's always something at the root of our passion. Because I think mine has changed.
What do you mean? Your why?
My passion. And I feel like...
What was the old...
What was it?
Yeah.
My passion still is to help people. You know, like I really still feel like I'm meant to help, encourage, build, motivate others. But like I was so into doing Made Foundation. Like I was so in it. I was so like, yes, like I was already planning the next thing. And then it's like my light fizzled.
Well, I feel that that can still be your passion, right?
Yeah.
And your purpose could also be to serve. Agree. But it's a possibility that it may not be in that way. Or it's a possibility that you will have to table that until you actually figure that out. Because what I notice as far as being an entrepreneur is you have to also find out what's your why and constantly protect that. You know what I mean? And also feed that. Like, okay, the reason why I'm doing this is because of this. And this is what I'm passionate about. And then sometimes I even write down my why sometimes on my desk. And I'm like, okay, or I have a picture now of my why on my desk so I can see, okay, I'm doing this, for myself. I'm also doing this for my family. Yeah. And I feel like once you constantly focus on your why, then you won't have to, everything else will essentially line up. You know what I mean? Especially when you have those moments, because it is natural.
So whys don't change?
Whys can change.
Look, is that your why?
No.
Whys can change.
I had this in my wallet for years. I know it's a lot, but I keep mine. And when I get discouraged, I pull it out.
Do you want to read it?
No, I'm not going to. It's not y'all business.
That is amazing that you have that.
But
first of all,
I keep it in there because sometimes, like, man, being like we was talking about last time, like being an entrepreneur is hard. Sometimes you want free.
People don't get that though. Like they need to hear that. Like it's not just the glitz and glam, like
Right.
Morgan said. And I honestly want to know, as entrepreneurs, why do you all only show the good? Like, I'm gonna give you an example. If you had a bad haircut, that'll never get posted. If you have a
absolutely not.
contract that falls through, you're not getting on there like, well, this contract just fell through. I was about to get some money, and now I don't have. No one does that.
Yeah.
Maybe people would have more realistic expectations of what entrepreneurship is if people didn't only show wins.
Well, that's not their audience. Because if your audience is looking for real estate advice, they're not
Yeah.
looking for, in a way they may be. If something didn't work out with an inspection, it could be. But as far as the entrepreneur side of things, looking at it, at the monetary value of it, then that's not really what your audience is looking for. That will help other realtors who's in that.
Other
However,
entrepreneurs,
that's other entrepreneurs, but are those other entrepreneurs helping you eat?
they're not paying your bills.
Exactly. So you have to talk to your audience. So, but
Your niche.
But right.
Oh Lord.
But I do feel that every entrepreneur needs to understand what their why. But that kind of brings me to my question: is how do you stay motivated when you're feeling down or when things are down?
I'm reading "Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins.
Love that
And
book.
That's the book you said you love yesterday.
OMG.
David
I saw you
Goggins.
posted about
What-
Untethered
What does he
Soul,
say
too.
about motivation, Morgan?
Well, I don't know, but but
He says F motivation, right? Because motivation is temporary. It's a temporary feeling
Mhm.
that
So
you
you
get
say motivation's an emotion.
every night. Because I'm gonna tell you,
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you, when I get motivated, when I ride through these neighborhoods, with
Yeah.
them nice houses,
Yeah.
or I'm riding past when I go to work and downtown and I see these high rises,
Mhm.
I get motivated. But boy, when I'm at home, I'm sitting on that couch, boy,
Yeah.
eating them cookies.
Wait, time out.
And that-
No
we got
motivation.
we got a lot of things to just unravel there. First, I would definitely say read "Don't Hurt Me" or "Can't Hurt Me."
Can't hurt me.
by
I saw you
David
post about
Goggins.
Untethered Souls.
And one of the reasons
yeah.
why I would say this because that helped me look at myself in the mirror and look at myself exactly where I am today. So I know exactly what I want to fix. Because what I got from that book was a lot of people like to fluff up where you are. Like if your life sucks, right? By David Goggins, he was former military, and he was a former.
Yeah.
Long story short, he was a former. I think maybe I should know that.
Always a Navy SEAL.
Navy SEAL.
Here's the book.
And then I should really know that he was like over 300 pounds or whatever, and he was trying to lose weight.
Crazy
in order,
life.
right? I don't want to tell the whole book,
Really?
but then he lost all the weight, got into the military, did a Navy SEAL program, and I would say read the book. But I would just say this. After you read that book, I'm telling you, it will have you look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, if you're fat, overweight, whatever it is, acknowledge it. So you know where to fix versus try to hide it and try to not to hurt your feelings or whatever it is. But
so that's how you stay motivated. You read.
I stay motivated.
Well, if you believe in motivation.
Well, I'm not gonna say motivated. I know what I want to do, so discipline has to come before being motivated.
I agree.
Because you're not always gonna be motivated.
No.
yeah,
So
I
if
agree.
you're not,
Consistency, discipline,
there you go.
yeah.
So if you're not
Right.
always motivated, you need something, and then that's like he said, that why.
Yeah.
If you thinking about the why, that's good motivation.
Yeah.
But you need the discipline. I know I got to go to the gym at 6. I know I got to send these emails. I know I got to do this. I know I got to eat. I know I can't have this sugar and all that.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, you're not always going to be motivated. You know, and you might not have nobody to hold you accountable that's always going to be around.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's you.
You're preaching, bro. So you know what's so funny? What separates people from being average to above average is consistency. And basically being consistent or being motivated, you're right, it is an emotion. It can just be kind of like, you can consider it's something that's temporary, right?
Yeah.
So when you do things when you don't feel like it, when you make that extra rep, and when you don't put that piece of pie down or whatever it is, that is going to set you apart from getting average results to getting above average results. So when you, as far as like for myself in real estate, when I cold call and do the things I'm supposed to do, the activities I'm supposed to do every day, even when I don't even feel like it, that is, I know for sure that is the reason why I'm seeing success later on in months. It's because of the works I did months ago. You know what I mean? And I have to do it when I don't feel like it. You have to do it when you're sick. You have to do it when you're tired. You have to do it when you have family issues. You have to do it when your body is just tired. You have to do it when you're hungry. You have to do it when you're broke.
And all them times that he just said, those are not times that you're gonna be motivated.
Right.
When you're sick, you ain't gonna be motivated
at all.
When you're tired, you're not gonna be motivated. Hungry, you're gonna be motivated to eat.
Yeah.
But you ain't gonna be.
It ain't coming tomorrow.
Yeah, you're gonna be giving yourself excuses and all that. So, like I said on the episode before, like, would you hire you? Because if when we was at work at the restaurant, you will see people that when nobody was looking, sorry server. Somebody looking, oh, they going crazy. They're going, and you don't want to snitch, you know what I mean? But it always caught up with them.
Yeah.
Like you can't hide. You can't hide.
You can't hide lazy.
Yeah, you can't hide.
That's one thing you can't.
You know what I
mean?
mean?
You can't mask lazy.
So
wait a sec.
What?
I used to go in. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, dang, that person probably hates me, but I'm like kind of over it.
I used to go in at that job.
Right,
Ronaldo, like, you're not
like,
snitching. No, you're not. I'm cussing.
Right. No,
like,
I won't say that.
I'm going in.
I'm going to let you know you lazy though.
I was saying something. Couldn't wait for you to make it back to the head weight room too.
They be in the back.
Saying something.
Bruh.
I'm like, bro, your table need a re-suite. And I'm looking through the restaurant. You back here on your phone.
Right.
Like, come on.
They didn't give two craps about anything. And I'm like, listen. They used to get me.
And sometimes I feel like certain environments drain you of your motivation. Like sometimes I've been in environments that are so toxic, it's like, I don't even know if my why worth it. I'm about ready to hell with this.
Yeah.
Because I'll find my why somewhere else because it's just too much.
Yeah.
Maybe my whys aren't deep enough. I'm a motivated individual. I wake up every day in a good mood. But my motivation, I think, like, I put that praise and worship playlist on.
Yes.
My mind is right. I listen to so many sermons. Ain't a sermon that's probably come out by Sarah Jakes that I have not
Come on, Sarah Jakes. You know what's so funny? I don't watch Sarah Jakes, but I do watch TD Jakes.
Sarah Jakes, TD Jakes' daughter?
Yeah. He has some really, I'm assuming they had some really good motivational videos for people.
Y'all have sent some to the chat. Y'all have sent clips before, like to the chat. They'll be like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And it's literally like sometimes different people that'll start talking. And it's, like that helps me stay motivated because sometimes my why will have me like.
So one thing I want to say is, so from what I'm hearing from what you're saying is routine.
For me.
So one of my routines that I live for is my morning routines. My morning routine, I get up in the morning.
Break it down more. Give them a day in your life. Now tell them what time you get up. Because people are not going to believe it. This is a day in the life of Realtor Morgan. Here we go.
Give it to us.
Ready.
So number one, I have a sleep clock that kind of looks like this when you wake up. It simulates a sunrise.
Okay.
And you know what? It helps me kind of just create the atmosphere from when I'm re-entering the world. Okay.
Yeah.
But for my slumber.
Yeah.
And the reason why I do that is because you know what? Just hearing that annoying alarm clock that I don't want to hear all the time, it reminds me of the time that I have to get up and do something uncomfortable. It just wasn't working for me. So I'm like, you know what? Let me use a sunrise clock.
Okay.
It's just called a sleep clock. You can just tap it. And it's like simulates a sunrise and slowly wakes you up with birds chirping. That small change actually changes your energy in the morning. It sounds crazy. You might get that for Christmas while you're playing.
No,
I'm definitely gonna look it up.
Looking like
right.
what?
I'm telling you, it just changes your mood.
Okay.
Does it brighten up the room?
Yes, very bright.
But it starts low and it.
I don't think it'll wake me up.
I thought the same thing. And it's different sounds you can
put your
actually
volume on loud. You gonna be good.
I'm telling you,
my alarm clock is the old car.
I
can't do that no more.
No.
So do the sleep clock if I were you. The sleep clock is.
I'm pretty sure iPhone have an app for it.
No, but not the light.
You need the whole thing.
It sets the ambiance,
and then it helps you also go to sleep too. So the times that I have, I guess it's insomnia.
Yeah.
It's just like helps me like clear my mind because number one, let's roll that back. My day actually starts the night before. So I'm the type of person who likes to lay out what I'm going to wear for the week.
Me too.
Right.
I do it.
I did that when I was a kid. I started when I was a kid. For the whole week.
I do the day.
for the whole week, right? And I have to set my gym bag aside because I don't want to be running around in the morning. And I got Luna in tow everywhere I go. So I'm like, okay, I have to do that the night before. So the morning of, I wake up. One of the first things that I do is I have to give God thanks and glory and praise. I say a prayer. Then I automatically listen to something spiritual first. And 9 times out of 10, it's spiritual motivation. It's T.D. Jakes. Then I listen to like maybe, and actually he's doing both. Can't think, Eric Thomas, because he does spiritual right now as well, like spiritual motivation.
He's an actual preacher.
He sure is.
Right. So, but before it was kind of just like motivation, but now he's wrapping the word up in it as well.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yes. So then that's when I take a shower, then go to the gym. And then
you take a shower before you go to the gym?
I have to
Are you one of those people that have to shower in the morning?
Yeah. I have to go to...
I shower in the morning, but after the gym.
I can shower at night. I don't have to shower in the morning.
I have to. I don't feel right.
My mom's like that. I'm like, Mom, we got a 6 a.m. flight. She's like, well, I'll be up at 4 taking a shower.
Right.
I'm like, just take your shower at night and be ready in the morning.
If I don't work out in the morning, then I will. But you take a shower before you go to the gym.
I have to.
Then you have to take one after.
Yeah, that's fine. But my thing is, by setting the tone like that in the morning, especially at 4:20, I feel like you are setting yourself up for success.
Y'all heard that, 4:20.
You're getting your mind, your body, your spirit right before you enter the world. That's before anyone ever actually hits you up and with their worries or whatever it is. And you definitely cannot look on your phone the first thing you wake up, because then you kind of putting whatever's in the world that's going on, all their fears, their stress, their motivation, whatever it is, on you. You know what I mean? So I put my phone on Do Not Disturb until I'm actually ready to take it off.
Oh, I don't play on the D&D.
And it helps me.
But I have heard that like one time I was fasting. So I was up like 5 a.m. But I didn't have anywhere to be till like 9.
Yeah.
You know something? I understand what people say when they say they just want to start their day and not rush.
Yeah.
It's great. When you wake up, you can cook breakfast.
Yeah.
Watch the news.
Right.
Eat.
Right.
I mean,
old people
read.
used to
you can get a lot done.
Get your coffee. But right now, like I wake up with enough time to get dressed, walk, reason, and be out the door.
Yeah.
Like there's no time for leisure. I don't have a 15-minute grace period for mess up.
Yeah.
So it's like when you start your day like that, you do, even though it's bright and early, it is a little more like, I just started in like, I got to hit it. Yeah. My whole day is like that.
You know what's so funny? One thing that Luna has taught me, my baby girl.
The dog?
Yes. Because
Yes, the dog, Ronaldo.
And sometimes as a dog owner, you just kind of like, you're kind of in a rush. Okay, I got to do this. And it was one time I came home for lunch and I took Luna out and I'm like, girl, you're supposed to go use the bathroom and let's get to it. Like, I got things to do.
Yeah.
And this girl smelling the bushes. She wanted to look at the flowers and everything. But then God just told me, you know what? Stop and smell the roses. Like she wants to, she wants to stop and smell the roses. Ain't nothing wrong with what she's doing. She knows she got to use the bathroom. And I was like, you know what? She wants to do it. Why am I not doing it? Why am I not setting myself up to experience life a little bit in a better way and just take my time? You know what I mean? So
we don't do that as humans. I feel like we live in a very like hustle culture. Like everything's just supposed to be like go, 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 go. I even feel like we all get into that sometime, like doing what we got to do, being here, we writing all of our stuff. That it's like we always have so much to do. But I feel like I'm getting older now and prioritizing that downtime.
I'm kidding.
I'm the youngest at the table still.
Barely. I'm kidding.
Yeah, still there.
Like, I see these grays and these meat meal braids.
We know who the oldest is.
Don't draw attention to the braids.
Listen.
Y'all know my struggle. Okay.
Yeah, we know Ronaldo needs to get them braids done. But I will say, I think this is good advice you all have given entrepreneurs, and I just hope people
receive it. What would you say would be the most valuable lesson that you learned as an entrepreneur?
Oh, Lord.
The most valuable lesson is to actually appreciate a 9 to 5.
I don't get it.
Don't take it for granted as far as like,
oh, okay.
When you work for, like let's say you have a boss, right? And then all the stuff they kind of like telling you to do, the paycheck, the time off. It's like you don't appreciate none of that until you actually start working for yourself, and it's like, golly, boy, I missed that 9 to 5.
Yeah, that's not on the table anymore,
man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's good advice.
It's like that's pretty much what I say I learned, and how to handle money.
Ooh, gotcha.
We need to table that one.
Right.
Table that.
We're gonna get back to that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Part 2.
One of the most valuable lessons that I've learned was not everybody is your client. And it's okay. No matter how it feels emotionally, no matter if it hurts financially, not everyone is your client. And I hate to say it, but sometimes it's the people that you know, you like, and you love are the ones that could potentially be the worst clients. Mm-hmm. Usually those are the ones that don't want to pay the price. Usually those are the ones that want to give you the hardest time. And then on top of that, not even paying. You know what I mean? So it took me a minute to kind of like get that. Mm. And I had to realize, you know what? My value is my value. You know what I mean? I have to stand on what my value is. And I know what my bills are as well. And I know the cost that it's going to take to keep running the shop as a business. And once I step out of that, then I'm not only being not fair to myself, I'm not being fair to the people that I'm responsible for feeding as well. So I had to understand that not everybody is going to be my client. And not everybody can be a good client or respect your business. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother thing. If somebody cannot respect your business and how you run your business, then is it really worth it? Go ahead.
I'm going to ask you, because I'm a barber, so I know how, I'm not going to use the word disrespect, but like, what is a bad client in real estate?
Don't get me started.
Because I'm like, okay, so you sell houses for people or you find houses for people to buy. Mm-hmm. So yeah, how would someone be bad?
I wouldn't say bad, but it's just, we're not in alignment with each other. So there can be several reasons. It could be a seller that wants to sell the house for way over its value. And then, because you're putting sometimes thousands of dollars into the marketing to sell the property. And if you aren't getting a return on that, it's a mutual beneficial relationship. It's not making sense. So that can be a situation. Or if someone doesn't want to pay your percentage, then that can be a situation. And I hate to say it, sometimes it's like people you know, and you love. And or it can be someone who doesn't follow the order in which you try to organize your business. You know, there could be several different reasons, but you just have to understand, okay, here's what my boundaries are. Here's what my standards are for myself and my business. And if you aren't in alignment, it's okay. It's okay. No matter. Now, sometimes it is uncomfortable, you know, especially to have those conversations, and also just set those boundaries. Sometimes can be uncomfortable, but it always works out in the end. What's meant for you would not pass you by.
So have you ever had to like, because do you tell them that in the beginning, or you tell them as it arrives? So like, would you let somebody go in the middle of working with them?
Well, I understand my contractual obligations. So it's quite hard to fire a client once you're under contract. However, I sit down with every single person before we either buy, sell, or invest in it, no matter what it is, so that we understand what your responsibilities are. And I'm also letting you know, hey, what's going on in the market, et cetera, et cetera. So I know that I'm doing my due diligence as well. And you also understand what my responsibilities are to you as well. So 9 times out of 10, we're both on the same page, and you can kind of tell up front whether what that client is going to be like. Like, I hate to say it, but if we really want to talk about it, a lot of people want to, let's say, buy a house, right? But they want to buy a house, but they don't want to sign an agreement to work with you, or they don't want to, sometimes they don't want to pay you, or they don't want to get a pre-approval. All right. So by you basically like a pre-approval letter before you actually submit an offer, or submit an offer and or look at a house. What people sometimes don't understand is, let's say you go request to go show a house, right? And I hate to say it, but 9 times out of 10, somebody's living inside of the house. So if someone is living inside of the house and they have you, or I'm just using you as an example, who want to go and view the property, right? And if they want to go and view the property, you're really taking that family from outside of the house and stopping what they're doing and their normal routine so that you can see it. And if you don't have a pre-approval letter or any type of documentation saying that you can afford that house, then you're actually not being considerate of that family as well. Right. You know what I mean? So I hate to say it, but some people don't really kind of see it that way, but it's a business, and that is why there's protocol.
Yeah, because I ain't trying to leave out my house for somebody who's not even serious.
And imagine if I'm bringing somebody in the house and I don't even know the seller, and I'm like, oh, can I see a pre-approval letter? And I say, oh, they don't have one. They're going to be highly upset. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you're interrupting dinner time. You're interrupting their morning routine. Sometimes when they work out from home and that's how they feed their family. But just different things you just have to recognize, and through experience, you kind of can see it ahead of time before you can just experience it with that, have a bad experience with that person. So
I think that is good.
Yeah.
I think this was a great episode.
Yeah. Do you think, how important is that morning routine do you think it's important for any entrepreneur to have a routine?
I think it's important for everybody to have a routine. It's because I feel like sometimes you can just be on a go constantly, like nonstop, and not realize that sometimes you can be disorganized. Mm-hmm. Sometimes once you do one thing kind of out of order, it kind of leads you up to do the next thing out of order and do the next thing out of order, do the next thing out of order. And one thing that I've learned that life is so much easier when you plan and you have some type of structure. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Because it's very hard to be disciplined when you don't have anything to be disciplined to.
True.
So if you have a routine, you can be disciplined to the routine. You don't have to be motivated. You just stick to the routine. Mm-hmm. If you have a diet, you see that? If you have a diet, because you keep asking me about...
He throwing shade.
Well, I'm just saying, if you have a diet, stick to the diet. Mm-hmm. This way you can be disciplined and you don't have to be motivated when you get that pecan with that ice cream drizzling.
That was a month ago. That was a month ago.
Wrap this up because they always do this. Yeah. They get off schedule. This is part 1.
All righty.
How do you close this out normally, Morgan?
You know what?
I could try to do it, but I don't know what you do. Thank you so much.
Go ahead.
Try I don't know. I would just say, I hope you enjoyed today's conversation, topics, vulnerable moments.
Yeah.
And we hope you come back to like, comment, subscribe, and watch more.
I hit that button.
What would you say? Like, I guess that's
you
right.
Especially part 2.
ATL Committee out.
Yeah. ATL Committee out, part 2.